Alright, y'all, welcome to Ellis Mowers. We're going to do this Coleman PowerMate Clean Machine 1500 psi pressure washer today. The very least, like I said, I got it in a lot for $10. I got a weed eater and a chainsaw and a blower. The chainsaw was a really cheap chainsaw. I didn't worry about trying to fix it. Neither did I worry about the blower. The weed eater just needs power bulb and fuel lines, and it's going to run. So at least got one good thing out. This is kind of be the money maker of the lot. It'll probably be like a $60 item as long as I can get it to run. It is a 3.5 horsepower Tecumseh, like I mentioned. I have sprayed some starting fluid in it. I'll show you that it kicks over. Don't know if the pump works or not, but at the very least, even though it's got a short shaft, I've got a mower body it can go on if push comes to shove. So as you can see, it runs fine, or it will turn over and run on starting fluid. I'm going to check the carburetor. I have a feeling the carburetor is going to be in bad shape on this thing. And so just by looking at the fuel tank looks pretty bad. So I'm going to get it on my stand here, and we're going to work on it a little bit. See if we can get it going. How about I turn it this way? All right. So let's start over here. So we're going to just take the carburetor off. Need some Phillips or a 5/6. I think 5/16. It might be a quarter. The gas tank on this thing is just absolutely filthy. It's a quarter. Hose seems to be in decent shape, so that's a good thing. This should come off just like that. Awesome. Alright, so the next order of business is a 5/16 to take this throttle linkage off, which is sometimes a little bit of an adventure. Or we could just take a screwdriver, flathead screwdriver, and take off what I like to do on these Tecumsehs is take off the intake bolts over here. There's a little flathead. Hopefully they'll pop loose for me. There we go. And the top one. Gotta love it. Got a 1/4-inch wrench on it. Ratchet. You just pop the bit right in there and I'll take it right off. Alright, so that gets that off. Now we have the fuel line to contend with in the back, which it definitely needs a new fuel line. What you can do now is you now have better access to the bolts that hold on the carburetor. You could potentially take those off, or what I'm going to do here is I mean, fuel line clips are just terrible on it. I need a fuel line on it. I'm just going to cut the fuel line. I think I have some bad gas that's going to pop. That's probably going to come out. Yeah. A little bit of water. We'll take the gas tank off and clean it out. Not that big of a deal. It's just straight up water in it. I have a feeling this thing's going to be massively corroded. What we could do to make life easy No, I gotta take the 5/16 off right here. Next. I was hoping we could make life easy here, but it's not gonna be. Tecumseh carbs aren't too bad though. Kind of have a feeling I'm going to have to put a new one on this one though. Alright, so that can stay on. This can come off up top there. You can just lay that aside. Now let's go over to the bench. Power bulb seems good on it. Power bulb seems good on it. I'm going to give it a 1/2 inch. And we're going to take the bowl off over there on the little stand. Alrighty, let's see how bad this thing is. It's going to be kind of bad. That's a lot of, I can already tell. Oh boy, oh man. That is a lot of crud on that carburetor. Wow. Alright, so obviously we got a bunch of green gunk, old gas, all that good stuff. I'm going to pour this outside real quick. And you know, we might be able to get it to run with some carb spray. This is nasty though. Holy moly. Had to check my carb spray just to make sure I still have enough cans coming up. For me to work on them. Alright, so it's sucking it up fine. literally need to like scrape it. It's so bad. Let me see if I spray carb spray through here, if it'll come out the. I think the needle is bad on it, or it's gummed up, one of the two. I'm gonna scrape all this stuff. I'm just gonna go to work on this thing. I'll let y'all know what I end up getting in terms of cleanliness out of it, and if it's even enough to save, as opposed to just spending the $8 to get a new carburetor. So this turned out to be pretty nasty, but as you can see, I got the bowl relatively clean. This is cleaner than it was. It's hopefully going to operate like it needs to in terms of closing and opening. Hey, if we know it runs and the carb still leaks, we'll just buy a new one, you know. It's not really that big of a deal. So, sorry, I keep messing y'all up. I also got the jet a lot cleaner than it was as well. It's hard to get that stuff fully on the inside. But we're going to see what we have going on here. Like I said, I'm going to clean the I'm going to clean out the gas tank as well, purge some of that stuff that's in it. So what I'm going to do, I'll go ahead and put this back on the washer. I'll take off this fuel line, put on some new fuel line, clean the gas tank, and we'll give it a good little start and see if it works. Alright, so I put it back together, put a fuel line on it. I don't think it's getting any gas to the carburetor. I had to put another gas tank on it too because the other one was so brittle the plastic tabs actually broke off on it when I tried to put it on there. So I don't know, this thing might surprise us. Let's give it a shot. Nah. It's still pretty jacked in there, I think. Let's see if this wakes it up. Oh, no. Alright, let me grab something that actually has got some gusto to it. Yeah, it's still only running on the starter fluid. Darn. Makes me wonder if there's any gas getting down to it. Because I think that needle and seat's swollen up on it. Yeah. Yeah, there's no gasket down there. I feel like if I could get gas passed on that needle, I could get it to run. I'm gonna try and do this. I'm gonna try and do this on the mower itself, and I'll check back in with y'all, see if I can get it to actually work right with the needle and seat. Alrighty, y'all, that needle and seat was definitely compromised. I've got some gas flowing down into it. I don't think it's enough to get it to run for minutes on minutes at a time, but we can see. And it's probably going to cause the needle and seat to leak too, so. But I'm getting some prime, which is good. Just gonna let it sit for a minute. It's priming. They ran on its own right there. That's a good thing. It will run on primer. It's trying. It's really trying. Getting good prime now. Let's see. Primer is super strong. Wonder if there's a little water in it. It is strong. It'll run all day long on primer. So, I know there's a jet on these things that you got to clean out here in the front. So, I'm going to see if I can clean that out a little bit, and if that'll get us anywhere on this. All right, so after I I put the camera up for the night. I just did kind of a little bit of messing around. And what I ended up finding was I forgot that I had a junk engine that was ran without an air filter for I don't know how long, but had a carburetor on it that actually turns out, I believe, to be a good carburetor. What I did is I turned it on after it's kept gas in it for a few days, so I turned it on after I put the carburetor on. It actually started on the first pull. Again, I basically took the whole intake tube and everything and then popped this back on it just to let it work. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and swap out the air filter and stuff for it, and put the original one on it, and I'll hook it up to some water, and I think I'm going to, I don't know what to pressure wash. Everything needs pressure washing down here or around here. I can pressure wash my trailer. I think I'm going to pressure wash my front sidewalk with it. And so whenever I get it all hooked up and all that, I've checked the oil. The oil's good on it. So I'm going to pressure wash the front sidewalk with it. When I get everything set up, I'll give you all a little test. I think I could buy a new wand for it, but the thing is that the wands are probably about as much as the pressure washer is. And this pressure washer isn't going to be as much more than about a $50, $60 pressure washer. So the wand's just going to spray all the time. I mean, like I said, I could get a new one, but you got to consider what you're working with. If I had a nicer one, then I would get it. But as you can see, it looks like it's either missing the return spring or it's just got a little rust on it. It was working a little bit earlier, but it's no longer working. But anyways, it doesn't have any leaks in it, which is nice, unless I've created leaks by breaking inside it. But we'll see what we got. The nozzle sprays pretty well. And I will, like I said, I'm going to get all the parts back on it, and we'll do a test run with it. So as you can see, this wand is pretty done. However, I'm going to see if I can wash with it. If I can wash with it, then, you know, there's probably a lot of people out there looking for a pressure washer that just needs a hose and a wand. They have a bad pump for it. So, you know, let me see if I can get this thing started, and we'll wash with it as long as this hose holds together. I guess I didn't put it back together right. Let me see if I can handle it here. Well, the good news is I fixed the little trigger on it. It was missing a spring. Bad news is I don't know how to put this little... Oh, I bet I didn't get this back into the groove right here. So let me take off the front portion of this hose, and I'll put it back in correctly, and hopefully that'll fix our issue. So close. All right, we're going to take two on this. I did not have that top half of the wand in correctly, so hopefully that works for us. We'll see. We'll do a little test washing. I mean, it's 1500 psi, so it's not going to be the most powerful washer in the world. But as you can see, it does have a little bit of power to it. That's kind of on the semi-fan deal there. What I'm going to do, I'm going to just kind of, I don't know if I'll wash the whole sidewalk with it. I might try and wash this small sidewalk portion with it. Just to see, you know, how it does and all that good stuff. So let me go ahead and do that, and I will get back with y'all after I finish, just show you how it does. Hopefully it does well. It looks like it's doing okay. Like I said, it's 1500 psi. It's not really designed to wash sidewalks and stuff with, so. But as you can hear, it's running great, so I'll catch up with y'all in a second. Alright, so you can see it's still leaking a little bit, but again, this pressure washer is almost 20 years old. I just finished washing the sidewalk here. Obviously it will lighten up once the water dries, and also it's been raining for a few days here. Just kind of did a little bit on the porch there too, just as a test. It doesn't do too bad actually. It's got a little leak in the hose right here, but it's nothing crazy, and it works, so that's a good thing. It ain't gonna blow your socks off by any means, but it will. I mean, it does work, so I'll take it. I need to pressure wash the rest of my house here too, but I just haven't gotten to that point yet. Let me get around from here. And so that's nice. Like I said, the washer works good. It's not perfect. It's got a couple of leaks here and there, but again, like I said, the thing is almost 20 years old, so the fact that it works at all is, now I'm not going to call it a miracle, but it's pretty nice that it does work. And it has so few problems with it. I mean, like I said, it's a working pressure washer, so you can't get into a gas pressure washer for about less than, gosh, I don't even know. You can get an electric one for about $80, but I think you got to get up to about $150 to get a gas one. But most of the ones that are 1500 psi are electric now anyways, so but that Tecumseh runs great. It took me probably about 15 minutes to do what I did right here, so it's not spectacular, but it is better than nothing. And so I wouldn't recommend, you know, this is a great little washer for like washing off your car and stuff like that. It's nothing really special to wash off anything else with. Pretty quiet for what it is, so I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. I appreciate y'all watching. I've got another pressure washer running here. Basically exactly like our other one, except this one's a Tecumseh instead of a Briggs. So I'll catch y'all in the next video. We'll be working on some more stuff, but in the meantime, you can see what I'm working on at Ellis Mowers 09 on Instagram and Facebook. And I'll see y'all on the next video.